Most women aren't prepared for what the body and mind will go through after having a baby. And this can sometimes become a huge struggle for a lot of moms. So here's more from our insider. Take a look. Do you think people talk enough about postpartum care? I mean, I think it's common. I think women should talk about it because it's a lot to go through, and just all that estrogen you've just lost as you have the baby, the hormones, it's just overwhelming.
It is, and not a lot of people talk about it. A lot of the women who've just given birth who come to see us in the clinic complain to us that, you know, why did nobody ever tell me about this, about this, about the
Am
lack
I
of
okay?
sleep.
Something wrong with me?
Exactly. There's a lot of things that are happening, and a lot of it exacerbated by the lack of sleep, because sleep is our way of recovering and resting and repairing. And so if you take that away, everything else, it's like a domino effect. You know, the anxiety, the depression, the irritability.
You have to feed the baby, you might be breastfeeding, you're not sleeping.
You may not feel that you're engaging in breastfeeding with your child, and that causes a lot of, you know, self-doubt and self-judgment too.
And we're going to be talking about breastfeeding. And then that could lead to what's called postpartum depression.
Correct.
Very real.
Very real. Very real. You know, the statistics say that it's about 15 to 17% of women giving birth are at risk. So 1 in 7 women are at risk of postpartum depression. So a lot of what we do in the postpartum phase is really about helping the body come back to its, you know, original, or as close to its original, you know, structures and positions as possible, but also creating a safe and nurturing and supportive environment for the new mother with her new child or with the numerous children that she may have.
Exactly. And to explain more, excuse me, on the different symptoms new moms experience with postpartum depression, we have a short video from the Mayo Clinic. Let's take a look at this.
It's been a month since you welcomed your new baby into the world. You're supposed to be elated. Instead, you feel sad, lonely, irritable, and depressed.
Postpartum depression is typically defined as depression or mood symptoms, anxiety that presents in women, usually within 3 weeks or longer, say up to the first year after delivery of their child.
Mayo Clinic family medicine specialist Dr. Summer Allen says postpartum depression is different than the baby blues, which only last about 2 weeks.
Postpartum depression, or maternal mental health, as being referred to now, is normal and happens to a lot of women and can have a varying degree of severity.
Help and support are key to coping. Get as much rest as you can, accept help from family and friends, connect with other new moms, carve out time for yourself, and avoid alcohol. Dr. Allen says postpartum depression is not a character flaw or weakness.
Definitely not. Great video there. Again, this is different from just the baby blues. We have some postpartum depression symptoms that you may have: sad, hopeless, overwhelmed, crying more than usual. You worry, you're anxious, you're moody, irritable, probably because of lack of sleep, trouble sleeping, trouble with attachment to baby. I mean, it could be just one of these things, it could be all of these things. Again, completely normal and normally temporary, right?
Yes, well, hopefully, hopefully, but it can last for many months. So it's something that we want to address as early on as possible.
Right. And I remembered, and my producer actually just reminded me now in my ear, Emily, thank you so much. Brooke Shields, you know, very famous actress, beautiful woman. She's written books about this as well and shared her story, which I think helps women when they hear it from somebody that is, you know, you think, oh, everything's perfect with her and she's gorgeous and her body came back to normal and everything is perfect. No, she wrote about her personal anecdotes too. That helps to open up, communicate.
I think, you know, nowadays, it takes a village phrase is, for me, very important, because it really does. It takes other women, it takes your mothers, your aunts, your neighbors, talking about their experience so that women learn and feel supported and feel that certain things are normal, okay, and expected.
So let's talk about the benefits then of massage therapy for postpartum depression. It could be, you know, aches and pains. It could be emotional. It could be a spiritual depression. How does that help?
So what we do a lot of the time in the session with the massage is bringing a lot of that energy back to the mother who's lost a lot of she's lost a lot of heat, she's lost a lot of energy, she's carrying a little bit of extra weight. So we're going to be applying different techniques to also help the structures that have moved, like the pelvis, come back to center, helping with that whole kind of gluteal area where the sciatic pain is usually quite strong, helping that structure kind of move back. We also, and this is one of the things we do the most, is help with diastasis rehabilitation. So when that midline in the abdomen opens up like a zipper, because of the pregnancy, and this, by the way, is not just with pregnant women, people with a big, large abdomen, like a beer belly, can experience that as well.
And that's diastasis. It's new to me. I had never heard of it, so I'm curious to learn more about it.
So we do a lot of work with that. We do a lot of work with the pubic symphysis that sometimes opens up or displaces. So we do some exercises.
It can be very painful.
And then we bring acupuncture into the mix because that, for me, is probably one of the most indicated and important therapies to undergo in the postpartum phase.
I do want to talk about some tailbone pain that women can't feel. First, let's just take our toll-free number in case you have a question regarding massage therapy before, during, or after childbirth, 855-796-4475. Or maybe you had massage therapy and you'd like to share your story of how it helped. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so going back to that tailbone pain, which I think is excruciating from what I've heard. There's symptoms, and women really, unfortunately, are not comfortable. Localized pain and tenderness, increased pain with sitting, worsens from sitting to standing. Can you imagine? Of course that would hurt. Pain may increase with bowel movement. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, a lot of the time during the birthing process, the tailbone ruptures. You have a break in the tailbone, and that's oftentimes, or that's where the pain usually originates from the baby's head coming through that very small opening. And so I would always recommend to work with a physical therapist to get extra cushioning for the seat or the car seat, wherever it is that you're sitting, and to also work with acupuncture because it's a non-invasive, very natural way to combat pain of any kind.
Massage therapy also help with those tailbone pain symptoms?
It can. If there's a ruptured bone, unfortunately, that's different. But when it's got more to do with the soft tissue, the structures of the gluteal muscles, for example, what we do is a lot of relaxation techniques for those very, very specific muscles so that that whole pelvic area can relax. And that creates a relaxation process for the entire body, for the brain. And so, the pain signal diminishes.
By the way, we've got lots of videos on postpartum care on our website. Just head over there to allhealthtv.com.